Housewives of Atlanta After Show. As always, we are live here on the stream.tv. Make sure you hit that hashtag, the one and only RHOAAS. This is the final episode, reunion part 3. Listen, I'm one of your co-hosts, Channon Dade. To my left, I got Nadia Beddini.
Hello, everybody.
And to my immediate right, I have this time Megan Thomas.
Hey.
Shawn Richardz she's watching us right now live, and
Hi,
she's going to be joining us later. We love you, Shawn. Okay, could this be the beginning of conscious reality TV with the whole theme of motherness? I doubt it.
Right.
I think the ratchetness will still continue on because Bravo wants to make money. All right, let's start with the first and one and only, the one man who wants the peach the most, Peter. I want to know, you guys, what did you think about Peter's comparison, saying he has similar personalities to NeNe and Kenya has similar personalities to Apollo? Was that justified? Did you take on what Peter said?
I said that before, that
You
Kenya
did.
and Apollo said that they were both good looking.
Yeah.
And so the flirt seems to be a little more intense between them.
Yeah.
But I just think that they kind of crossed the line a little more than NeNe and Peter did. First of all, because Cynthia and NeNe were real friends.
Yeah.
Not like Phaedra and Kenya. And second, because they never talked on the phone. They never text message.
Supposedly.
And, you know, the little threesome comment was really inappropriate. Like, Kenya can be really, really inappropriate. We're not saying that something really happened.
Yeah.
But, the inappropriateness for sure was there.
Right. And I will say that Peter gave, I think it was good for him to say, you know, we all owe Kenya apologies, because we did go in on her for some years about being a whore.
We
and,
did.
And then,
yeah.
you know, he was like, but truth is, she's not someone to sleep with someone's husband.
Right.
So maybe that's
Right.
not her character, but, you know, it also goes to say she does need to take some responsibility. You can't be talking to somebody's husband talking about, let's do a threesome.
Right.
Like, even if you're playing, that's somebody's husband. You don't do that.
And after she took up for her with Walter, we always forget that at the
Right.
trip, she was taking up for her. Now, I want to know Peter's point about cheating. Do you think he cheated, or do you believe Porsha's insinuations?
I mean, when Peter said something about Beyonce and J-Lo, I'm like, really? You probably would never even meet with them. You wouldn't even have a chance to talk to them. You know, you're talking about having, something with
I
them.
don't really care. Like, that's the truth. I don't care. If Peter is cheating, he's cheating. I don't really care. Peter, just get your coffee shop, your new bar off the ground. Like, I'm really more concerned about his business. I don't really care if he's cheating.
Right. I do want to point out, did y'all see this? Peter really enjoyed that individual time on camera.
He did, girl. He wants to be on this show so bad.
He's a star in his own
He
right.
will. He might come up with some show in the future. How to open your business.
And close it.
Right. Right.
All right, let's talk about, for the last time, Todd and Kandi. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I thought the applause was, why would they get applause for having sex 2 days ago?
First of all, why y'all telling everybody? I would like
Right.
that. To me, when Andy was being, because Andy's messy, when Andy was like, so I just want to know when the last time y'all had sex was, that was Kandi's point to go. I was like, I hope she goes and tells him it's none of your business. I hope she says, because that's the truth. I would have been like, no, it's none of your business. You know what we do. Just know we're happy and we're getting it in. That's it.
I thought she was gonna say this morning, because they're together. I mean, 2 days ago. And yeah, Kandi talked. Yeah, no, lie, girl. Just lie. Just pretend.
Don't say nothing. You let too many people into your
Either
relationship.
don't say nothing or lie. But yeah, Kandi talked too much.
She needs to keep the mystery. Like, wouldn't you like to know, Andy?
Yeah, and besides the mystery, people is jealous. They envy your relationship. They can put a voodoo on you. So just, try to protect the things you care about.
Yes, I think that is a detriment to them. Do you think they'll last next season?
You know what? If they stop talking about the relationship, yes.
You think they can?
Because you just can't let, that's even real life if you're not on TV. You just can't let too many people into your relationship. And I think what she said is true about, the death of Todd's mom. It has brought them closer together.
Yeah,
so that's a good point. If they can get through Mama Joyce talking negatively about his mama and then his mama dying and,
I just think Todd is pretty submissive. Right. We don't see that much that side of him.
Yeah.
But I feel like, Kandi take the lead and he's just going.
Really?
rolling with the
I
punches.
think he speaks up when necessary. His alpha male-nism comes out at the right point.
I don't think on camera it's really what happened in closed doors.
Really?
Yeah, like Todd, he has that testosterone. He wants to show that he's a real man. But
I think he's soft naturally.
I think he's a little submissive. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like he's a New Yorker, New York dude.
Oh, yes.
Child, that'll get you in line.
That alpha male is
But
inbred
those
in them.
millions do keep you
Oh, that's true.
on point.
Oh yeah, don't mess with a New York woman. Well, tell me this. I thought Todd got excited when they talked about the baby. Andy asked about baby plans. Todd was the first one to say, "Oh, it's coming. We're working on it." You know, he was happy about that. So that's a change in his demeanor. Would you agree?
Right.
Or disagree with that? Okay. And what about Kandi? Still seems to wash over his feelings at the end of their argument. Well, their conversation, I should say, when they were talking about the prenup, and he was like, you need to chase a little bit, and she was like, well, you also need to cool off a little bit. How do you feel about that in terms of, do you think you should chase a little bit? Do you think you need time to give your mate to cool off?
Yeah, Candy's really dismissive sometimes. Even with Mama Joyce and the apologist, it was like, oh, let me clarify that was before Todd mom passed away.
Yes.
So what?
So what?
What kind of precision, is that?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I think she still has a problem with confrontation.
Yeah.
And, obviously that whole situation with the prenup could have been handled very differently. Because you basically emasculated your man in front of everybody for everyone to see. And that's horrible for a man. Like, how do you come back from that? So I think she needs to own up to the stuff that she did and just be very clear about it instead of trying to wash over it and just be like, it's done, it's whatever. I think she should just be very clear and say, I apologize for this. For making you feel this way.
Yeah, but Todd also should stop with that because, come on, she got you a car, you're living with her, you're about to have
about the materials.
That's it. I mean, but it is because it's about the prenup. So he was mad about the prenup. She got you a gift to probably make it even. So let's stop because I feel like we're always going back to the same thing. It's like NeNe and Cynthia apologize and then we go back to the same thing.
Right.
Claudia and NeNe had this they apologize to each other, then we go back to the same thing. Even now in this reunion, they hug each other, everybody, and probably next year, we're gonna go back again.
Because the truth is, I don't think people are really over it. So I think people need to stop apologizing for stuff and if
do
they're
something.
if they don't really feel the apology, and people need to stop accepting apologies if they don't feel it.
Right.
That's the real problem.
Let me go back to the focus of Todd and Kandi. Do you think Todd married her? I think you mentioned this before. Do you think Todd married her for money? And not because he really
necessarily
loves
for
her?
money, but I feel like he loves the successful part of Kandi more than he likes, for example, her look. Because he talks about her bonnet, her being a little bigger. I'm sure Todd would be happy if Kandi loses a few pounds. So I feel like he really loves her character, her personality, ambition, all that. But he doesn't love everything about her.
Right.
That's fair. That's typical in a relationship. Some, at least. All right. Well, hopefully they will last, and we won't have to talk about this next year.
Right.
I do want to point out, I want to know, hit that hashtag RHOAAS, and let us know, are you going to watch the ski trip? What is it, Kandi ski, family ski trip?
Wow, I don't think anybody knows how to ski in that family. They just want to do something fun.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be fun, but always Mama Joyce and her messy sisters.
She is. I mean, Kandi pointed out, like you said, that she apologized, that Mama Joyce apologized after his mother passed away. But still, in this episode of the ski trip, she's bringing up him and Carmen cheating, and she wants
And
Carmen.
it seems like there is something going on there, and I can't wait to see it.
Really? You think so?
I mean, a little something. Why not? Maybe they text message. You never know, honestly.
Okay. I do want to give a shout out to Greg. What did you guys think about his?
I love
He
Greg.
said, thoughts are like headlights on a car. You can only see the other person's. What did y'all think about that?
Child, I was like, wait, what? What you? Wait, what was
He
that?
said, think slow about it. Think slow about it. What did you think,
did.
Nadia?
No, I'm still thinking about it. I don't understand what it means. I'm sorry.
Well, they said that Greg talked about the funeral of Todd's mom, and he said something
he was
really nice.
there.
So I really love Greg. I think he's super wise and give you that comfort zone, and I just love him.
Right, yeah, I think he's a pretty cool dude, and the fact that, despite, things that might be going on with people, for him to come and speak at Todd's mom's funeral, he always has some words of advice, some words of wisdom. He better. He's old school, honey.
Yes, he is. All right, let's move on to Miss NeNe and Cynthia. Calling Peter a Mitch with the B word, are the blogs about Noelle and her parenting, on Cynthia's parenting, are Peter's influence on Cynthia. What do you think was really the issue with NeNe and Cynthia not working it out? Do you believe Cynthia's side or do you believe NeNe's side?
NeNe tried to put this little low blow that Cynthia did it for the camera, because she said we were fine until the show aired on TV, and then I don't know what they told her. That's your chance to get a little more.
Away from her.
Yeah, that's your chance to get camera time, right? So, that made me think that maybe the whole thing was for Cynthia to get more exposure, because I mean, why would you be okay with it, and then once you see it air, okay, it can, sparkle some little
emotions. You don't think it sparked different emotions for her?
But not that much.
Not that
to
much.
be like.
And I think the passive aggressiveness that Cynthia has is the reason why their relationship is the way it is. Because I think they really were truly friends, and I think even at the end of this episode, you see that they're really friends.
Yeah.
But you don't ever blindside somebody that's your friend.
Right.
And so you can't go and say, oh, everything's cool, we're good, and then not address a problem. If your friend posted something on a blog and you felt some kind of way about it, you should address it. You don't sit here and wait until a reunion show and then in front of everybody say, oh, we're not really friends, I don't like her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what she did. It's because she's passive aggressive. She should have said something during the New Year's party when she was upset at what was posted about her by NeNe.
Right.
And also Cynthia getting upset because NeNe is trying to take food off her table. But I mean, we're all different. So if I feel like you cross me and I don't like you, I'm gonna do whatever I feel like I want to do to not have you around me.
Yeah.
I'm not really thinking about taking food off your table. I just don't want you on my show.
Right.
So
And for her, and that kind of goes, does NeNe have more power? I guess NeNe has more power than we really think for Cynthia to sit here and be like, you're trying to take food off my table, because NeNe simply said she was boring and she don't think she should be on the show.
Well, NeNe does have some influence inviting people, and they ask her like Shereè and Kim, and he was talking about that. So she does.
And I'm
have some
sorry, but
influence
that
on
makes
who
Cynthia
could
look
come on.
really desperate. Like the only way she's making money is through the show.
Well, true. Well, hopefully her modeling agency is making money. Do you think NeNe still loves Cynthia?
I do. I think they're really friends. And I think if once they get off this show, they can get back to being really real friends. But while they're on this show, they're going to always have some kind of tension because, A, people want camera time, and B, you just need the drama in order for people to watch you. So
I think they love each other, but when you cross the line, when things are broken, you can glue them together, but you still see the cracks. So
well, let me ask you
they'll
this.
never be okay 100%.
You're right.
They should not even fake it. They shouldn't even be like, okay, I love you. Like,
they're good at that. Well, let me ask you guys this. Did you see, going back to the point of the power of NeNe and bringing people on and off the show, and talking about the seating arrangement, I have to point out, I love Andy Cohen's comment to Cynthia. Cynthia was like, I didn't know we had a choice to sit. And Andy was like, you don't.
Right.
Let's
not get any ideas, ladies. He had to nip that in the book.
I honestly think Cynthia lied, because you can always tell the producer, just don't sit me next to NeNe.
But see, she's not good at lying. That's the one. That's why I was trying to read her face, because she's not a good liar.
But she didn't lie. She said,
I didn't know.
I didn't ask.
No, she said, I didn't know we had the power to change our seating. I think she was telling the truth, because she's not very quick like that, and she's not a good liar. So I was like, oh, well, she really didn't know that she could change where she was sitting.
Yeah, maybe NeNe, like the producer didn't tell her that exact thing, but they did tell her something. They told her, like, Cynthia is gonna confront you. She doesn't want to sit next to you. Just something is gonna happen, because why would she just say, oh, the producer told me you didn't want to sit next to me?
All right.
They always say stuff.
Hopefully they'll make up.
And also, I wanted to say, I feel like Kenya also had the power to say, I don't want Porsha on the show, because to me, Porsha was really, really existing on the show, even if she didn't have that contract like the other ladies. On the other hand, Claudia wasn't really. She didn't say, barely she said anything in the reunion.
So you think Kenya has power because...
Yeah, I think
Porsha
everybody has power. When something happens, something that has an importance, every housewife has the power to say, I don't want this, I don't want that, to negotiate their contract.
But the producer has the most power, though.
And the producer are going to go around it to do whatever they want to do.
At the end of the day, what they're going to do is they'll be like, here's an extra $2,500 for your troubles.
Yeah.
With $25,000.
along the way. Okay, I just have to say I love NeNe and Andy's dynamic. All right, I do want to point out, if English is your native tongue, sisters, please use the right verb tense. That just makes me cringe. Cynthia saying, and I quote, she had saw when NeNe was on the show. And NeNe saying, girls have said and done things that was wrong. It's were.
Wow. All in one
use the right verb
sentence?
tense when you,
Wow.
I mean, it's constant, especially with the sisters.
Who do you think is the worst on the show?
Probably, and I love her the most, is NeNe.
Really?
I was surprised that Cynthia was using the wrong noun and verb tense. But anyway, that's just a Channon thing.
Porsha's the worst.
You know what? I forgot about her.
Porsha's the
She's
worst,
forgettable.
I think Phaedra is the most proper.
Oh yeah, she speaks good English.
Definitely.
She speaks good English. Now we do use the wrong verb tense and noun tense when we do it on purpose.
Right.
But they were talking consciously.
But let me
Anyway.
tell you, I make mistakes all the time. Like I spell.
but English is not your native tongue.
Waste my
Right.
time,
Yeah.
like the waste my time.
That's not your
I do
first
that
language,
too.
so that's
I know,
okay.
but let me tell you, English is a weird language
It is.
because
It
there's
is.
like 10 ways there's 10 sounds that you
Yes.
spell in different ways.
Right,
Yes,
but these people
it is.
that's the only language they
They
know,
know.
so there's no
Right.
excuse.
No, yeah,
No,
they should.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna tune in with our girl, Shawn Richardz. She's on Skype. Shawn, can you hear us? Hey, girlfriend. Hi, boo-boo.
Hey, gorgeous.
How you doing, ladies?
Good, how are you? Well, listen, I'm going to go on to the next topic, and I want you to clue in because you definitely have something to say about this. Miss Claudia and NeNe in the half-breed comments. First of all, do you ladies think that Claudia's argument is still righteous and that NeNe's apology was justified? First of all, do you believe NeNe's apology?
No.
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 I mean, the fact that she's saying Claudia didn't get offended by that.
I
I mean,
couldn't believe that. I could not believe that when she said that.
exactly. Everybody will get offended if you call them a half-breed or anything.
And this is the one reason why I profess to be a NeNe hater, because even though I give her credit where credit is due, you cannot, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Don't sit here and try to go beat around the bush and say, oh, well, she wasn't offended by it, and I'm sorry if I offended any. Like, don't even have that demeanor about it. Just say, you know what?
Yeah.
I was wrong. Period, point blank. I was wrong.
She's
I'm sorry.
apologizing to the viewer. She's apologizing to that check. That's the only person she's apologizing
That's exactly
to.
right.
Exactly. But also, too, I mean, the joke to me was like half-breed is so like an ancient, like prehistoric term that you have to apologize for so many reasons. You're offending people from back in the day and everything else. It's
Right.
and she felt like the way she gave the apology to me was just like, I'm just going to do this just to get everybody off my chest. But I really don't feel it. Because she said Claudia wasn't offended by it. You know Claudia was offended by it. Everybody was offended by it.
Yeah.
But I like how Claudia said, I don't need your validation. Move on, boo-boo.
Yes.
Bye,
Right.
girl.
Exactly.
But I do want to point out, I was talking to my mommy about this. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. About this. She's actually right here. She made a good point that NeNe is just ignorant in this. She really doesn't understand the fact that that is a racial statement and that it has so much history to it. And I would even say it sparks with people who are half-breed or octobreed, octoroons, or who are mixed, that if they took offense to it, I would even take offense to it on the level of the N-word. So she was wrong.
I think
NeNe was
that
wrong.
it tells you the mindset, because if that is even something that comes out when you're fighting,
Yeah.
then what is your real feelings about people who are mixed? You obviously have a problem with people who are mixed, because then it doesn't even come up in your mind when you're fighting somebody. You would have talked about the girl's feet. You would have talked about
Right.
her breath. You would have talked about everything else.
Yeah.
But
And
the
it could
fact
be
that you brought that-
self-hatred as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that we have to remember where is this happening? Like, this is Atlanta, and if
Yeah.
we look, the housewives are all African American, and I think in Atlanta there is a lot of diverse racism. How do you call
Yeah,
it?
diversity.
No, like the racism.
Reverse racism?
Reverse racism.
Reverse racism. There is a lot of that.
Yeah. very
Because the
true.
majority is black, and so people don't like light skin, and there is a lot of
And
that.
the South is very prevalent.
Yeah, the South
this
is- yeah.
color issue is big in the
And you
South.
also have to think about history.
The word
because,
is color
yeah.
struck. A lot of color struck
Color
going
struck,
on.
yeah. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Shawn Richardz. of the day.
NeNe is close-minded. In the end of the day, she wants to
Yeah,
be,
she
but
has
she's really close-minded.
She can be.
Right.
She can be very
Not
open-minded
using
as
the
well.
vibrator thing, she would never want to talk about it. I mean, she's also contradicting because she goes from being a stripper to not want to talk about sexuality with Kandi.
Well, she got a man now. She's a little conservative. Nadia's like, whatever. All right, I want to ask you ladies about Kenya. Kenya made a good point. She said that her and Phaedra, they left off on a good point in the show, but then they revisit the entire show through the entire season and then come back to the reunion with all that on their shoulders again.
Right.
Is there a better way for them to be at a good place by the time the reunion comes up?
Yes, it's called pick up the phone and call her and be like, look, girl, I just watched the episode.
Exactly.
I just watched this episode, and I want to let you know I'm feeling some kind of way. And I need to talk to you.
About binge watching.
Binge watching.
That's
Okay,
it's fine
good.
if you binge watch, but you need to call the person right after that immediately that you feel some kind of way about. Like, I
Okay.
don't think we're cool right now. I need to talk to you.
Right.
Let's fix this before we get on the couch.
I don't think Kenya and Phaedra really hurt each other that much on the show. They did have their
issues.
their issue and miscommunication, but they didn't insult each other, so I think they can move on pretty
Okay.
easily.
Very good. Let's talk about the friend intervention with Dr. Jeff really quick.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
NeNe started the breakdown.
quick.
Do you think there was a breakthrough for all the ladies because of NeNe's breakdown?
Yes.
Oh my God, I saw this post on Instagram. Let me tell you, say, I'm just here because I don't want to lose my license. I'm like,
Oh, with Dr. Jeff?
why is Dr. Jeff there?
DeShawn, what do you think? Do you think they all had a breakthrough because of NeNe's breakthrough?
Well, I think they saw a side of NeNe that they probably have not seen, I don't think, ever.
Any of us
And
have.
being vulnerable. But what I want to say, too, is women who are motherless children, it's a very difficult thing because you go through life being this strength, being your mother and your father and being your own little adult. So when I could see, that's why I have a soft place in my heart for NeNe and Kenya, because when you come from a place where you've not had a mom or you've been raised by a grandmother or something like that, your protection is very, when you get screwed by someone, it's very hard for you to trust anybody.
Right.
And I think that's why NeNe walks around with a defense mechanism all the time. And I think Dr. Jeff can see through that. That's why her and Kenya don't get along, because they're coming from the same place.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think? Your final thoughts on this season
I also
7?
think you don't have to use it as an excuse, though, because we all go through something, like we said, and I don't think everybody that grew up motherless, then it's super harsh and emotionless.
Very
I
true.
think it manifests itself in people different ways, and you can see that when Kenya was like, I don't understand, and then you know,
Kandi, I didn't like
I think-
Candy's attitude at all. I just
Yeah,
wanna
when
say.
Kandi didn't go up and hug her, she was like, but I think Candy's thing is like, okay, let's not smother her right now, and I get that, but I think Kandi,
No, she was like,
No,
I don't understand.
I really
I don't
got it,
understand.
Kandi, and I thought Kenya should have just minded her business. And honestly, I think Kandi didn't want to get up because she was
Well,
lazy.
Kandi didn't feel it. I don't think
Stop.
I honestly
All right.
feel she was
All
just
right.
lazy. And
Let's-
Kenya, it's like want to be Mother Teresa now.
No, I
like,
think it was genuine. I think it was genuine. I did not like
I
Candy's
think it was
attitude.
genuine.
I did want to say this really quick.
Genuine too.
I wanna just say-
it's genuine too.
Right, I want to say that I'm so glad that NeNe did have this breakdown, because I feel like once you show who you really are and you're vulnerable and you show people that you're relatable, that it makes it easier for people to like you because
Very
they see that
true.
you're real.
They see
Yeah,
that
I
you're
think
real.
she hold everything inside and then she explode. But on the other hand, I think that her crying could possibly be used against her.
Very true. And I'm so glad at least they showed a clip of Demetria.
Where?
Where's Demetria? Where's Demetria? Hey, listen, Peaches, we're going to take a quick little break, but guess what? We'll be right back with some great questions from our Twitter fans, so don't go anywhere. Real Housewives. Real Housewives. Real Housewives. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live,
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them, go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Hey, we're back! Final season, final reunion. Hey, we want to give some YouTube shout outs. While you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button for the stream.tv. So YouTubers, we want to say Shalisha Francis and also Dowfix71, DJ, also Dennis Allen. We have Light Brown Caramel Sugar, Ruth Frank and Tamia37 and Tania Beneath, and of course, Quintessential 2. Thank you for your support throughout the year. Well, the season, I should say. It feels like a year. And we love your little kitty pictures, by the way, on YouTube. Let's go to our first YouTube question. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's from Dre at Mr. Wigfall. He gave us a question last week, and he gave us one this week as well. Do you think Cynthia and NeNe will ever rekindle their friendship? It seems like there's a lot of influences in that situation. It's called Peter. What do you ladies think?
You never know.
I think they're going to be friends again. And the fact that when NeNe had her breakdown and you see Cynthia rush over there to her because she understands where she's coming from.
Right.
There's still love there after they just had this whole issue. For you to do that means there's still some kind of friendship there.
Right.
So it'll happen again one day.
I think so. Keep hope alive. The friendship will continue. All right, second question is from Holly Newsom at HollyK_Newsom. She said, do you think NeNe's breakthrough would change her behavior going forward? Oh, wow, that's a good one. You know, we can flip-flop. She has grown. NeNe has grown, just like a lot of the women have grown. Some have digressed, I should say. But I think NeNe has grown, and I think it's a good point for her.
I think it's a start of something, but I think it'll only change if she does talk about what's happened. Because you see the difference with her and Kenya. Kenya talks about the stuff that has hurt her in the past, which I think has made her more open to healing. But unless NeNe starts talking about what happened to her, even if it's not on camera, but if she just is more open about it and really starts to talk about it and get those feelings out, she won't be able to heal and she won't be able to change.
I think sometimes you just gotta accept people for what they are, and people don't change. So that's how she is. She's been like that for so many seasons. She's a tough cookie. She's disrespectful. She doesn't care. All proud of herself. So I don't think she's gonna change, and that's why people love her or hate her.
Girl, you official NeNe hater.
I do want to point out, you made a good point about Kenya, and she made that little comment, well, why did she attack me about my mama and so forth? And then Kandi checked her and said, because you're more open about it.
Right.
But that's very true. And that's how Kenya goes back to that old Kenya way. She's doing good, and then she goes back to that old Kenya way. So I think NeNe will do the same thing as they grow and progress. And get away from more ratchetness to healthy TV, maybe. All right, third question is from Fernando_Torres at NextTopMD. He says, I'm so confused, and maybe you ladies can answer this question. Why is Porsha trying to make thought a good thing? Okay, Megan and Nadia want to say a lot about this, so y'all go.
Okay, especially because thought means these hoes over there.
Yeah.
So when people call her Princess of Thoughtland, I would be like, wait, what? I would be like, come to break, so you just called me a hoe. I don't like that. And if you see how the exchange with her and NeNe is like, you should dance, you're a stripper. And then she's like, wait, what? And then I was like, that was shade. I thought y'all was cool. And then, you hear Porsha go, teach me some tricks, girl. And they were real polite about that. I was like, see, that could easily go to the left.
It could.
Easily.
It could.
I think thought is not necessarily being a hoe. Thought means more like you're lightheaded, want to have fun, you want to drink and party all night.
Girl, what you mean? It's anything.
You're very superficial.
It does mean hoe.
But anyway, okay, what I think is if somebody call me something and I'm confident I'm not, I'm gonna laugh about it and I'm gonna embrace it. Yeah, I'm the queen of the thought. Let's have a thought party. It's about having self-irony. And I think Porsha is really smart in that. I don't think she is, she's knowledgeable about things, but I think she's a really fun girl. She's cool. She knows how to, you know, have fun and just take it easy.
She's a party friend, girl.
And she has self-irony, and I think that's great nowadays to not take stuff seriously because you can change what people think about you. You can just let it brush over your shoulder.
Right.
All right, since this is the last season, I do want to say, give your thoughts on this season wrap up really quickly.
Oh, I'm sad it's over. But I will say next season, I hope, it seems like things are going in more of a positive direction.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about that, but at the same time, that means the show about to be over because ain't nobody gonna watch it. But I do hope that's the direction that it goes, and I do hope we get to a happy place with all these women where they can really just be true and good friends and show positivity on TV.
Yes, hopefully.
I would definitely hope to see more housewives that have something to say, someone that does something good for the society, for the city they live in. So something more like a view on Atlanta and like more a social view of what's going on and no more just cat fights, a little friendship, but you know, a little more social.
Hopefully they can, this can be the change for a new dynamic of reality TV. Going away from the ratchetness to more positive. We want to give some shout outs to some of our Twitter followers. So we want to thank you all, the YouTubers as well. But we also want to give our crew. We want to give Kellen a shout out, Corin a shout out, Corinne a shout out, and Kevin a shout out, and of course Lorna and Susan and Steve. We love you guys for everything you do here at thestream.tv. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next season and maybe on some other shows here on the stream.tv. Hit that subscribe button. We love you, bitch.
For more of the Real Housewives of Atlanta after show, just hit the subscribe button at thestream.tv.